You're saying an AR-15 can shoot 150 rounds in 15 seconds. So would it have a 150-round magazine? What would that, hold on, let me ask you, let's be specific. That's your ad. What would that magazine look like, the 150-round magazine?
Exactly like the magazines that Las Vegas police officers pulled out of that hotel room. They had 50 and 100-round magazines, and that weapon was capable.
Oh.
No,
and
50
so you
and
can
100
fire.
round
It
magazines.
is physically possible to fire. It's not. I mean, these are rhetorical questions. You don't know what you're talking about. And I know that you were a police officer. Or you claim to have been.
Yeah.
No AR-15 can fire 150 rounds in 15 seconds. That's untrue. And if you believe it is true, then you're not qualified to have a conversation about guns. People are laughing at you because you are ignorant. You don't know what you're talking about. No, that's just untrue.
We take exactly the word of the police officers in Las Vegas, who I trust, who ran into that room to save people down below, and found the weapons that were modified with bump stocks that would allow them to do that.
So they say an AR-15 can shoot. What do you think would happen to the barrel in 15 seconds if you put 150 rounds? It would melt. So I guess my point is, if you're going to take on the NRA and be Mr. Tough, I was a cop guy, maybe you should know what you're talking about, but you don't. You're putting something on television that's demonstrably wrong, that's physically impossible, and all of your voters are like, oh, yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. He was a cop. But you don't know. So maybe you should apologize for it.
I'm not apologizing for taking on the NRA.
I'm just trying to.
Doing it.
Oh, okay. I think you should apologize for saying something that's factually
and politeness
untrue.
Have not changed the conversation. We need new folks
to take over. Yeah, that's why I'm not being polite. I'm trying to get a real conversation going here.
Yep.
But you don't know what you're talking about, so maybe you shouldn't be in a position to make decisions because you don't understand the issue. Because you just told me with a straight face that an AR-15 can fire 150 rounds in 15 seconds. Ooh, surprise, it can't. So maybe you should admit that and move on to something you understand. Would you do that?
Tucker, we're going to go. We're not. This is exactly the type of arguments that don't get us where we need to be. We need new leaders in Congress.
Oh, it's not
That's
like F the NRA. That's the kind of argument we need. Oh, I thought politeness didn't work, tough guy.
Politeness is not working so far. If you woke up on Mother's Day and don't have your kid anymore,
you know what works? Actually, facts work. Why don't you
up.
get some facts? Oh, Pat, do you like this new mode of communication we have? F the NRA, Pat.
It'd be great to have
tough guy.
It'd be great.
So here's why Tucker is so frustrated. Because in the topic of guns and liberals trying to remove guns away from Americans, they come out and they talk about guns with false facts, made up facts, or no fact or knowledge of the gun they're trying to get rid of. And we see it over and over again. And so Tucker's like, you know, this guy claims to be an ex-cop, but here he is saying that an AR-15 can fire 150 rounds in 15 seconds. And, you know, Tucker is saying that's just blatantly not true. And Tucker's argument is, if you're going to say something, you have to make sure it's factual. You have to make sure that what you're saying is true, especially if you're trying to put the narrative out there about the particular, how that particular gun is used and operated, etc. Now, I mean, of course, you know, guns in the wrong hands is a no. I mean, everyone's against that. It's about mental health, and we need to stop the people who have mental health issues with the guns that they're using to kill people. But also, we need to enforce laws, right? So the left is always saying we need to take that gun away and that gun away and that gun away. But what about, how about enforcing that law that's already in place, and enforcing that law that's already in place, right? How about enforcing the laws that protect Americans against gun violence? That's not being done. That's not being talked about. It's always about how bad guns are, and not about what we need to do to stop gun violence. Not do new, what we need to do that's already in place, take advantage of that's already in place to stop gun violence.